We are going to talk about the waste that a company makes. The company that we're going to talk is a dry cleaner. This company is located in the north of the state of Chihuahua, another in the south. This company was born in 2014, therefore it's a young company that has much to improve and know the business better in order to be a large company in the future, which may have more stores in other states of Mexico. It's a Mexican company that offers quality, strong values, and modernity to the world of dry cleaners. Its three business model for franchising adapts to the times. It reinvests itself in technology and goes far beyond the traditional service. Is a comprehensive model with state of the art. The owner of the company that we want say us that we need to consider the important things is to detect the needs of consumers of local society, study the trends of the market, see what is the opportunity of the future business that are profitable even in times of crisis. It is because they provide service and products of high needs and constant demand. And it's the case of franchise. It's a joint venture of shared commit and therefore of a effort further enduring their chances or success. Business that are profiled even in time of crisis. The dry cleaners service and its sub specialty save value time by the users and all at very reasonable prices. This is why you had a tremendous growth, both in volume of real customers and histories. In this context, investment in dry cleaners branches are also proliferating due to start a business or basis of our organized brand and have advised the administration of the business to make the way of undertaking to be simplified. Job mentally has evolved exponentially and new generations are included to vendors much more than the usual employment model. The goals of the company is to encourage leadership and keep motivated his college with his focused vision of expansion, training and contract research to improve service. The person that work here in a shift is around 3 or 2 person. This company open to Monday to Saturday 9 a.m. and close 9 p.m. 12 hours per day, and the Sunday just works to 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This company helps to provide a service that are all the people used to take that just some clothes like jeans or pillows or everything that you need related with clothes. They can help you. It was very helpful to do this research and try to understand how the waste affect the production of a company and they how can lose money in the same way. That is a big problems in all companies. We need to reduce it. We need to know how to reduce it and try to implement a way for don't use it. And we are going to start with the waste that the company produce in this time we're going to see some presentations about this topic.
Defects is one of the most easily recognizable wastes in lean manufacturing. Defects are often considered to be one of the most significant manufacturing wastes because they can actually lead to the generation of additional wastes such as overproduction, transportation, excess processing, etc. Defects in its definition can be products or services that are out of specification that require resources to correct. In the case of dry cleaners company, sometimes this waste is the most common since the operator of worker doesn't check properly if the product is clean or without wrinkles. Besides, the worker doesn't use the right laundry soap, and this can damage the customer's clothes, provoking complaints or that the client goes to another place. For instance, the owner of the company told us that on one occasion, one of his employees burned a shirt of his most loyal customers. So, in order to avoid looking bad, they had to buy a new shirt and had a considerable loss since it was not a nothing cheap shirt. Finally, the operator doesn't have much experience to iron clothes of a certain type of material. So, in certain occasions, he has burnt shirts, pants, and even very expensive suits, and this has repercussions on the reputation of the company. The only lean manufacturing waste that is not manufacturing process specific but rather manufacturing management related is non-utilized talent. This type of manufacturing waste occurs when management in a manufacturing environment fails to ensure that all of their potential employee talent is being utilized. Other definition for this waste can be when employees that are not effectively engaged in the process. When we were in the dry cleaners, I realized that there were many moments in the day when the workers had downtime and they spent the time using the cell phone or fooling around each other instead of taking the time trying to better order the place, cleaning the area, labeling and assigning a place for each thing, and thus be more efficient when you need everything and have it at the hand, for example. Finally, another thing that the worker told us was they were not taken into account when making some suggestions or improvements regarding the dry cleaner process. So they felt bad and unmotivated about that.
As you know, in the images that we have of the company, we can identify five wastes, and I'm gonna talk about two of them, right? The first one is gonna be the inventory waste, right? In the image, we can see that we have material over there that is not being used by the employees, right? And we can see also that we don't have organization. The bags over there, they are not organized, and that can cause that could cause an accident to the employee, or just waste of money or time to look for the material that you need and how much you need, right? So that will be the first waste. In the second image, we have another type of waste that will be um, movement waste, right? We can see that we have the equipment far away from the production line or where the employee works, right? So it's gonna take a lot of time for the employee to go and pick up the equipment to come back again and do their job, right? So we are talking about that we're wasting time and movement because we don't have the equipment that we need close to us, and we're wasting time, right? The time that takes to the employee to go and pick up the equipment and take it back to the area that he's working with, right? So if we reduce those wastage, it will save us a lot of money and time, right? I mean that if we have each thing in each place that it has to go, we're gonna reduce time in transportation and movements and in inventory, right? So first of all, we need to establish the equipment that we're gonna use, the most that we use, right? And put it close to the workers, right? And the second one is to have a plan and a schedule or something to organize the inventory that we have, right? The raw material that we receive and the final product that we have to deliver to the customer. Um, so that will be the solution for those wastes, organization and yeah, that will be.
One of the ways that we saw in this company is the transport, because they has a service where you carry your clothes, but we were told that many times customer wasn't in home or they had forgotten to leave the money, so the company can't leave the clothes. They need to take it again and collocate on the car and start to drive again to the company. So they spend money in the gasoline and spend money in the service and maintenance of the car, like in the same way in the driver. When you arrive to the company again, to the drive cleaner, you need to collocate the clothes again in the place where are ready for delivery to the customer. The other important thing that we saw is about the space of the company, the layout, because the workers used to walk a lot of distance between the points that they need to take one thing to the other for the clothes. So it's mean that they need to improve the way to do it, and they used to climb stairs a lot of time in the shift, like 8 hours, and they can approach that time making things in the process and don't lose the time in that way. So it's important to change it for can get a better result.
It is very important to get familiar with all types of wastes, because in that way we can ensure a high quality production and most of all a lean manufacturing philosophy applied that means less money spent. Thanks to this kind of project, me and my teammates had the chance to look carefully in an already established local business and study its methodologies. Looking carefully into this dry cleaner company, we could notice some of the lacking elements that every good lean manufacturing structured business should have. The above definition of the 8 wastes of lean manufacturing that we saw previously on the video should be looked at as something that is directional and should always be kept in mind while taking up a lean optimization project. There are also called non-value added activities, and I have seen processes in service business wherein up to 95% of the time is spent on these non-value added activities. I should talk about the concept of value added, non-value added, business value added activities in my next video. Understanding this concept is a must for dissecting a process for lean transformation. It's really important. Appreciating waste in a service business can be quite challenging as many of the activities do not happen before one's eyes. What is needed is the usage of value stream mapping, which helps bring out the tactic wastes in a process. This has to be supported with sharp judgment of the change agents that are catalyzing the process improvements. The benefit of educating employees in the 8 wastes is so large because the opportunity for improvement is so big. Experience demonstrates that as much as 90% of a process typically has wasteful activities, leaving only 10% of value-added activities. That is way too much for this to continue happening. To finalize this conclusion, we should talk about that by training an organization to identify waste, this 90% waste can be dramatically reduced. This causes lead times to shorten drastically, and in the end you have a process that is far more efficient, productive and responsive than ever before. So we should look carefully into these new methodologies in order to shorten our money or resources used to this process to happen. And that will be all for our part. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Goodbye.